Hello again, it's Natalie here, and this week the topic we are talking about is the hardest thing about transition. Now, when people think about transition, they think of a linear process with some front-loaded difficulties and some difficulties at the end. Now, I'm going to tell you that that's not really true, because what happens is at the end you've got, and I don't know this yet, but maybe by the time you watch the video I might know some of it, but you've got some difficulties at the end, and this is the traditional end, by the way. It's not actually an end, but typically people have some surgery at the end, and that's probably painful and difficult, and you have some tricky recovery, so that's probably hard. And then you've got all this stuff at the beginning. It's all tricky, and at the beginning it's so much hassle. So you've got to come out to people, and that's a stress, and you have hundreds of people probably to come out to. So you come out to all of these people, and then you have to go and see your doctor and ask about that, and that's emotionally taxing. And you have to go and see your doctor, and then you have to wait for them to refer you to a GIC, and then they might do that wrong. You go to a GIC, you could wait again, you have to have more difficult conversations. Someone might make you see a therapist along the way, that's difficult again. And you have to go and then see another doctor and get a second opinion, and you wait, and then you might get some hormones, and you wait. And you have all these difficulties at the beginning, and that's without all the social stuff. So you have to tell your work, you change all your details at work. It probably takes them 2 weeks to sort out your name on your email. You have to do, you have to change your name everywhere, and you change your name at the doctors, on the council tax, on your electricity bill, on your mortgage, or your rent, or your water bill, on your phone bill, and your phone bill company probably still hasn't done it 2 years later. And you have all these difficulties at the beginning, and it sounds like a lot of hassle. But what I'm telling you here is you can do all that. That's actually quite simple, and you don't need to stress about some of that stuff because it'll just happen. The stuff at the end, you don't have to do it. There's no rule that says you have to have surgery. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do it. What I find to be the most difficult and emotionally taxing part of transition is the bit in the middle where, and I'll let you into a little secret here, nothing happens. What happens is you've got your hormones, hopefully, you might not have your hormones, but you just say you've got your hormones, you're on some waiting lists, and just nothing happens. And you are waiting for your body to change, and it doesn't. And if you're anything like me, it really doesn't. So I've been on hormones for quite a while, and not lots happened. Not much has happened here. My hair's grown, but that would have happened anyway. And I don't think it can be overstated how very, very stressful and distressing actually that can be, because you're led to believe through all your forums and so on that you read beforehand that these magic pills or gel or whatever you're going to take is going to make everything okay, and it's not really like that. You can read all sorts of things to tell you how long hormones take to do different things, but everything differs for every person, and you always find yourself comparing yourself negatively to other people that you don't need to do for your own mental health. So for example, you look at other people that have transitioned and say, oh, look at me, I've been on hormones for 3 or 4 months and I've got C-cut boobs. And I'm like, I've been on hormones for over 2 years and I've not even got to an A. So, these things make you feel bad about yourself. You've got people in the public eye saying, oh, look, how great am I? I'm a trans role model and look how great I look. But they've spent 40, 50 grand on surgery, and most people can't afford to do that, and it really, really grinds away at your self-esteem that you can't match up to these ideals of what people should be like. So it's hard, and what you've got to do, and I haven't done this, but what you've got to do is be yourself and don't compare yourself to other people, and then in that middle period of transition, find stuff to occupy yourself. Get a hobby, get good at something, throw yourself into work, throw yourself into art, do something, but just be you rather than trying to compare yourself to these other people. So that's all. See you next week. If you haven't subscribed already, you should have done, so get doing it, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.